All the fire in the sky makes me feel so alive, even if it's just a night. Familiar life kills me every day, resurrect every time I hear your name. Long thing a long time ago, it comes back to you if you let it go. Every day is a second chance, a new beginning. Hold my head to the clouds, 'cause I can win. All I know is celebrate when you can. I'll just go to outer space and never land. Ain't nothing about me typical. Spread love, that's the ritual. I know nobody's perfect. We all from the dirt, no matter how rich, no matter how. We are. Oh, all the fire in the sky makes me feel so alive, even if it's just a night. Familiar life kills me every day, resurrect every time I hear your name. Long thing a long time ago, it comes back to you if you let it go. Black whiskey. Is there a difference?
You're now listening to The Real,
Man, I appreciate them dudes for talking about.
The Raw,
Wait, they were talking about
The Relatable,
That's exactly what I've been going through.
The Relentlessly Real Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Come on in, join on in. We are here. Welcome to another amazing, ridiculous, awesome episode of the Relentlessly Real Podcast, where we discuss real, raw, and relatable topics. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to our podcast today. Let's kick this off with some mother freaking introductions. My name is Jon.
And as always, I'm Terrence.
Still Terrence after
Terrence.
all of this time.
Clinging on to this last year of my 30s with a crisp.
You are clinging. I'm talking about barely gonna make it.
It is 2 months away.
2 months away. You're
Yeah,
gonna be
man.
40 years old.
I had a middle finger I was about to put
Hey
up, but
man, this is exciting information. I mean, I'm excited to know that my brother is going to be turning 40 years old. I've known this man for what, 15 years? 17 years?
It has to be 17 years.
17 years. 17 years. I'm almost a full adult, 18 years old of how long I've known you. That's crazy.
That's really crazy. Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous. A whole person is 17 years old right now walking around this earth, and that's how long I've known this dude. So this is crazy. This is awesome, man. Welcome, bro. It's good to see you. You know, glad everything is going well. Hopefully everything's going well. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Being that you're about to be 40. Nothing can be wrong with that.
My back feels like I'm about to be 40.
Wow.
I'm taking muscle relaxers. Like,
oh, okay. I was about to say, I didn't know Tanisha was laying you
all right.
laying you on your back.
All right.
If that's the case, let us know if that's what's all right.
Going on. No trick daddy stuff going on.
I'm about to say, I don't know what kind of weird situation you guys got going on over there, but
cool.
Nah, man. Just so you know, Jason said that's too long.
And then he said no pause.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
I'm gonna let him ride with it. You know,
okay, because I don't think that's comfortable. But hey, what can I say? Listen, the question today is, Actually, it's more of an inspirational question. Actually, this is not going to be one of those ones where it's tricky or whatever. This is like, now that you're turning 40, I'm glad you actually led with that. You're turning 40, your mindset's changing. I know you're thinking about the future or whatever. And so my question of the day is, how big would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail? How big would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail?
Oh man.
Yeah. Yes. And you're 40, so there's or you're about to be 40. So there's.
If I knew I couldn't fail,
if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do? How would you attack life? How would you go after life?
Man, I would just be trying to like, I would just be trying to win and grab more people to win with me. Like my energy right now is just towards like everybody moving up, like everybody,
Yeah.
like I just get tired of seeing like, people in just so much like despair, like just living like poverty and like, what I'm saying, like not having enough, and how many people
Sure.
have never been outside their city. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I just want, honestly, I want everybody to have enough money where they can just travel
Yeah.
and enjoy life. And how can we not have a generation that has to work for 30 years? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's where my dream would be.
Yeah. Yeah. When I saw that question, I was like, that's such an interesting question. How big would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail? Because it's one of those things. It's like, I think a lot of what goes into what we do, how we even do it, it's wrapped around, man, I don't want to fail publicly. I don't want to fail. I don't want people to watch me fail publicly. I don't want people to see me fail. It may not even be that I will fail. It's that it's the fear of other people seeing me fail publicly that prohibits me from taking those risks. And I wonder a couple of things. I wonder how much that plays into age bracket thing. Like, were we more riskier when we were younger? You know what I'm saying? Did we take more risks then? Or did we like kind of grow into being more insulated and secure in how we make decisions and just be like, let's do the
them
safe thing because we
bills,
got
man.
kids.
Like, you ain't taking no risk when I got them bills. Like,
exactly.
They don't care how big I can dream. Like, you better dream of paying this. You better dream on paying me on the 15th and the 30th.
You better make sure my money's in my account.
Exactly.
And I think that's a big deal. So I almost wonder, on the other side of success, is there a thing of, man, if you don't take the risk, if you don't take it, you'll never experience it, and that kind of fear of me not wanting to have my family on the street, as you shouldn't want, or have your family not getting food, as you shouldn't want, makes you kind of stay crippled a little bit.
What's interesting, something you said, and that's like literally been my past 2 weeks, is it's funny how people put more stock on not failing publicly while they are failing privately. And
That's
it's not
good.
till you realize that you are failing like privately, because the outside world is like, hey, he's winning. He got this, he got that, he got this, he got that. Meanwhile, on the inside, you like, I am crumbling.
Yeah.
Like, I am struggling and I need like help.
Yeah.
And then and once that goes out there, people are like, what? I could never imagine. And just like, so like people who know, like I'm in this thing where I'm just like, I don't really care about what public thinks right now. It's more so like right now, I like, it's just, what do I think? What am I feeling? How am I growing? How am I achieving? Like, how am I not achieving? What do I need to work on? What do I need to improve?
Yeah.
Like, don't really care about what your opinions or etc.
I think that is absolutely an age bracket thing.
It is an age bracket thing.
I think that once you get to a certain threshold of life, once you're like, I would even say 30 somethings. Like, I would say 30 something time of life is that when you start, is that when you stop caring about what everybody else thinks about your life and what you actually think about your life. And I think a lot of what we do is informed by the people that we're around. So like we may not actually want to do a thing, but we may do it because everybody else thinks it's a good idea or it's a good fit or good look on us or what have you. And I want to even address what Jason said, because Jason said dream within our means. And I kind of feel like that's not possible. I in my mind, I'm like, I don't know how to dream with them. How do you know what your means are with, because your dreams are going to surpass what you think you can do in your mind. I would think so, like, or what you could see within the landscape of your own financial success as is right now. So if you look within your means, I mean, my means only can go but so far. His dream is like supposed to go surpassing by where I can see right now with my natural eye. Is that what you think, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I separate dreams from visions, because dreams are just something that you're not going to accomplish, and then visions is something that you're literally set out. But the thing is, and I hear that statement a lot, and I get it. I know dreams and visions are two different things, and some people are dreamers, some people are visionaries. Okay, good. I get it. My point is, at some point, I think we do stop dreaming, and we do start just living within our means. Okay, well, like, okay, we don't, like, I don't start planning like deep far ahead. I just like, okay, well, I start grinding for like the next day, you know, and etc. And next thing you know, that just becomes
the rhythm.
You know, and so you're in survival mode. You know, and so it's just like, are you going to be in survival mode till you're 50, till you're 60, or?
Yeah, and that's really the truth of it, right? So, like, I've actually read books on this that talk about that exact topic and say the more money that they have, and these are books from wealthier people, of course, but the more money they have, the further down the road they're allowed to see, and the more they get allowed to plan for the future, which makes sense, because that's why, think about it. That's why Dag on Facebook can talk about the metaverse. They're talking about things that ain't even close to being in existence like today. I mean, obviously now we're behind about a metaverse type thing, right? But like, legitimately, they're in 2030, 2050 right now. And you know what I'm saying? And talking about the metaverse, a whole world where, you know, you're seeing everything virtually, and you're seeing your ancestors or family, like all this random crazy stuff. And I think they're allowed to do that because they have the cushion of life to a certain extent. Like, they don't have to worry about the day-to-day bill, so they can look down the street and around the corner about the future, right?
Absolutely.
You know, so I think a lot of that is a big deal. I mean, I like what Devin said. He said we don't. No, I'm sorry. I like what Devin says. We don't failure is a part of, or important part to success. I do agree with that, but I also wanted to highlight what Jason said. Part of the issue is we don't talk about failures in general, and I agree with that. Failure is not something that is something that is put to the forefront. Nobody wants to hear a success story about how much they failed. Like, everybody wants to hear about how they succeeded. How did you do it? How did you do it? And like, even you talking about the greatest of the greats, right? Like Kobe Bryant's of the world and all, right? They were accounts. I forget who was the one talking about it. But another basketball player was talking about Kobe Bryant and how he would come down. The other guy, I forget his name, but he would come down like for morning breakfast or whatever. Actually, I think it was Bosch. He would come down for morning breakfast or whatever. And Kobe Bryant, and before I say that, he would come down for morning breakfast, and he was like getting up early in his mind. Chris Bosh was get up early in his mind, coming down early, whatever the case may be. He would come down early. Kobe Bryant had already like came up with a full sweat, like was fully drenched before breakfast, right? And Chris Bosh is going like, I'm thinking I'm getting up early before everybody else, and Kobe Bryant had already been up 2-3 hours before Chris Bosh. You know what I'm saying? Did a full thing. So like, but nobody wants to hear about the like incremental things that it took for Kobe's success to be where it is right now, you know, or what it was at that time. And I'm like, dang, that's so true. So that behind work is so crucially important, right?
Oh, I'm not gonna let you slide with that back behind work is so important. I'm not mature. I know I'm going 40, but I'm not mature enough to let you live this in the world with that back behind
Terrence,
work.
I believe we talked yesterday, and I think I said something that was equally offensive.
You did. You said, what time you? What did you say? Hey, what time are you gonna be up?
What time you gonna hop on? What time you gonna hop on?
So no, you said so I could hop on. Yeah. Like, what are we doing?
I am. I got a problem with that.
Yeah.
But going back to the topic, Devin, you're right. Instant gratification. We want success without putting the work in. And a lot of what this, this social media world is about is that exact thing. And even before we hopped on the podcast today, I was talking to Terrence. I was like, man, this is a lot of work to even do what we do here, like on the podcast. You know, for no matter how many people we got on here, like whether we have 100 people, 50 people, 20 people, whatever. It's still a lot of work to prepare every single week to do a podcast, to have topics, to talk about various things that are occurring in the world and have it lined up to keep it succinct. And also, it's a grind, and it's incremental, and it's not instant gratification at all.
Absolutely. We've been grinding for 2 years.
We've been grinding for 2 years, and some would be like, man, you've been doing it for 2 years. Yeah, we've been doing it for 2 years, but it takes that effort to be able to see how do we change it? How do we make it better? How do we learn from it? It's a whole learned process. So I say all that to say, we got to start thinking less and just taking some risks more, because the window of opportunity is closing for that. So I got a video for you, Terrence. And this video is a scenario that I want to share with you, and I want to see what our listeners.
I feel like I'm nervous.
You should be nervous. I mean, there should never be a time when you're not nervous when I'm like trying to like, navigate things in this daggone conversation. So here you go.
Tell me if I'm wrong. So I'm doing my homework right now, and this is the assignment. Okay, we have to answer this question.
So here's the thought experiment. You and your friend both go to 7-Eleven and you both buy a lottery ticket. And then you both go back to his place, turn on the TV, and watch the lottery drawing as it's happening live. All of a sudden, you hear your friend screaming, "Yes, I have the winning ticket." And then he dies right there at the spot from a heart attack. And you're the only one who knows that it was your friend and not you who bought the winning ticket. And that winning ticket is worth $10 million. And you know for a fact that your friend has no family except for a rich aunt that he absolutely hates. So the question for you is, will you switch your ticket? Now,
So with all that being said, I want to know, would you switch?
So Terrence, what say you, my brother?
What am I switching?
We're switching the ticket, Terrence.
You mean my ticket? Why would I switch my winning ticket for his ticket that he lost? I won.
But no, you didn't. You didn't win.
No. You're not hearing me. He lost.
He lost at life, Terrence. That's what I'm saying.
No. He lost the ticket too, because when I went in, that's my ticket. That's my ticket.
Are you a liar, Terrence?
It's not lies. I got the golden ticket. Like,
you didn't. That's the point. That's the whole point of it. Like, you didn't win. You and I went to the lottery ticket. I bought a lottery ticket. You bought a lottery ticket. My ticket won. Yelled with excitement.
I think you in your death, I think you were confused.
No,
my ticket really won.
Wow, Terrence.
And your ticket really lost. I won. What are we talking about?
It's good to know. Like, this is good information to know. Like, now. So the bottom line is, I would give the ticket to the aunt that I hate.
There's no way in the world I'm giving that ticket to your aunt.
Terrence, that's the right thing to do. That's what I'm saying.
No, it's not. You don't even like her. You don't even like her.
It doesn't matter. I didn't like her. Maybe you don't have to worry about that because that's my aunt.
I'll give her $10,000. I'll give her $10,000
out of nowhere.
Just say, hey,
10 stacks you didn't have before. You didn't have the money.
John wanted you to have this. And that was his last dying breath.
You're a liar.
I love my aunt.
You're a liar. That's true. That's a ridiculous thought to have. Like that would you even do that? Like, and it's good to know now on this side of things. So I know
God's plan. Devin said it blessed. God's plan. I'm not gonna argue with God's plan.
Wow.
Once Thanos snaps his fingers, whatever happened. Okay, just. What?
Y'all are really look. Jason said, "I'll make sure you have a proper service." Wow,
it's gonna be the best. Do you want to see the amount the tombstone?
Oh my!
It's gonna be platinum and gold, like this, like everything.
I should have my own area, my own funeral.
Your own like acres.
Yeah.
And your aunt that you didn't like, she'll be buried further down, down the acres. But that is switching that.
That is so freaking.
So you really gonna switch? You gonna switch? Really? You going?
In real life, I like, and you may be like, John, you're a liar. But in real life, I struggle with doing something like that and living with myself. I do. I would be so struggling with that within my mind.
Here's the thing: if I'm as a friend, if I only have that one family member, I actually would want my friend to take the ticket because I actually like you more than I like my aunt. Why wouldn't I want my friend to be happy?
I can't rationalize that with you not being here.
I'm telling you, if that was, I'm purposely telling you, like, and I'm hoping, like. You can have the ticket. You can have the money.
Yo, Devin said, "Listen, man, I'm getting you a golden statue on your own land to be memorialized." Thank you, Devin. I appreciate it. I just think I wouldn't be okay with it. But now that I know for the specific nature of Terrence and that relationship, if that happens to happen, then I get to keep the ticket. But what I'm saying is, in any other situation where you didn't know that was gonna happen, I couldn't keep it. My conscience would not allow me to sleep at night knowing that your crusty aunt does not have the ticket that she should have because she's the only living survivor of your family.
He didn't even get a chance to cash the ticket yet. It's like it fell on the ground.
Yeah, it's a blessing.
It's our ticket. It's our ticket, and I gotta live. I gotta help you out, man. I gotta keep carry your dream and your passion on. And your aunt's not gonna do that. I am. Everything you wanted to aspire to do in life, I'm now gonna do in your honor.
Thank you, Terrence.
Rest in peace T-shirts, everything.
Anyway, as you guys know, each and every time, and maybe sometimes we don't do it, but today we are going to do it. Terrence is going to do our next flick and chill. So Terrence, hit the next flick and chill for us today, brother.
All right, listen, people. So I was hesitant to watch this show because I didn't really. I know people are gonna like yell at me. I didn't really believe that much in Jason Momoa, and so I understand that he's women's eye candy or whatever. But I didn't think he could not act. I just didn't believe in him. So one of my friends kept saying, "Have you seen C?" And this is show that's on Apple TV, and it's called C. And this might be the best show on Apple TV. It's one of the best shows I've seen in a long, long time. It's really, really good. They're on season 2. So without spoiling too much, it's literally called C for a reason. 500 years ago, the Earth had all human beings, mankind lost the ability to see. So everybody is completely blind. Everybody's blind. And they've learned how, just as mankind would, they learn how to adapt. To even talk about sight is considered to be a witchcraft. And so the premise of the show is everybody's blind, they're trying to survive, and etc. And a baby, as you can see in the preview, is born with the sight to see. And so the whole show embarks on this journey of what do we do? How do we navigate? It's just stellar performances. It looks absolutely beautiful on any 4K TV. Jason Momoa I'm convinced, is a bona fide superstar. He's just great in this show. He's great in this series. The action, the fight scenes, the choreography, the cinematography, everything about this show has been stellar to watch. There are hour episodes. I promise you, I finished the first season in 2 days. I could not stop watching it.
Is it?
It's two seasons now, and the first episode, I think it had 10 episodes.
It's 2 seasons already? I thought
it's 2 seasons. Second season just started, and the second season has who's the bald-headed other wrestler who used to be a wrestler? Dave Bautista.
Okay.
Bautista's in it. And so I have not watched season 2 yet. I'm just starting to watch season 2, but it's a great show. And every episode was like immensely better than the previous episode. The villains are great. It's just good. So if you're looking for something to watch, if you're into dystopian things like The Hunger Games, Maze Runner, with times where society has just changed and everything is different, this is a good one to watch. It gives me a little bit of Gladiator mixed with The Hunger Games. So it was really, really good. So I stand by it. See, it's a good show.
So apparently that guy, who's the guy you said is the main character? The guy,
Jason Momoa?
Yeah, Jason Momoa. He was broke, right? Like he was going broke at one point. Do you know that?
I don't know much about it. So I just know he's married to Cosby's daughter. So that's the only thing I do know. Like,
yeah.
So
not in real life. His daughter
in real life.
Cosby. Oh, okay. I think
Lisa Bonet. I think he's married to Lisa Bonet.
Is Cosby's daughter Lisa Bonet?
Not his real daughter.
That's what I just said.
I thought you were saying in real life he's married.
No, man. But I'm saying so. I heard he was broke, and I know he did some of the Avenger? No, was it Avenger? Yeah, Aquaman. He was Aquaman.
He's Aquaman. He is Aquaman.
Yeah. So he was Aquaman, and then he's also in this. And like apparently, like
Game of Thrones is what blew him up. He was in Game of Thrones.
Okay, I never watched.
That's
Game
what
of
really
Thrones.
blew him up. Okay, that's why I judge you every time.
I don't think Game of Thrones. I personally don't think Game of Thrones is good. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's
what. I don't think it's a good show. I wouldn't watch it.
You missed out on some extraordinary television. That's all I'm going to say.
Whatever the case may be. If you guys know, Henry Ruggs has been trending. This is a very, very sad situation or scenario.
Crazy.
Yeah, he was drunk at more than twice the legal limit and hauling his Corvette, down a residential street at 156 miles per hour with his girlfriend by his side. According to Las Vegas Metropolitan Police, he had a loaded weapon as well. He said it was a loaded weapon looking for a victim or victims. And apparently he ended up finding one because he ran into the back of a 23-year-old woman in a Toyota RAV4 who was driving down Rainbow Boulevard, located about 5 miles west of the famed strip at 3:39 a.m. Anyway, Ruggs approached the woman's vehicle on the 3-lane road. He veered right behind her before slamming into her car. The RAV4 immediately burst into flames. The fire department found her inside the vehicle and declared her dead at the scene. The remains of her dog were also found in the car.
She had a dog?
She had a dog with her.
Oh.
This past Wednesday morning, prosecutors detailed new evidence against Ruggs, who was in his second year with the Las Vegas Raiders, and they got problems, man. They having heavy issues at this point in their life. And a former star with wideout at the University of Alabama. Ruggs was charged on Tuesday with the DUI, resulting in death and reckless driving. The first charge carries a penalty of 2 to 20 years. The reckless driving is up to 6 additional. The Raiders released their 2020 first-round draft pick hours later. So, Henry Ruggs, guys.
Absolutely.
Absolutely what, Terrence?
They got to release him. Absolutely. I said they got to release him.
I didn't think they had to do it so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think they had to do it so quickly. There's somebody to defend him. Kadarius Toney defending him says, "We young. Everybody makes mistakes. Y'all looking at the situation like this or that because it ain't y'all having so much to say. He know he messed up and don't drag him for it. That's goofy to me. Just pray for the families involved." What do you think about that, T?
So, first of all, I didn't realize the word goofy has made like a comeback, but it legit is everywhere right now. And I be seeing, I'm like, okay, that was like not a big thing, but apparently it's goofy is a big deal.
Yeah.
See, I agree. I don't, he's 22, 23 years old. Like, legit. I mean, drinking and driving is an issue. He's in Vegas. I don't think that's the best place for people who are young, but I understand the team moves. You got to move with him. So I get it. But he was playing in Los Angeles. That like it's not like Los Angeles is not a party city either. So it's not like his stuff can't like pop off in Los Angeles. It's like he was playing in LA, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
2 party cities. My issue is I agreed to not drag him. He is young. He killed somebody. He should be he like the consequences come with it. Do I think he should be demoralized and ostracized and he's like dragged through the streets because he's drinking and driving? No, I just think he killed somebody, which is the saddest thing. The most important thing is somebody lost their life. Yeah. I don't think we should spend an eternity bashing this guy. Again, like I had not saying it's the same scenario, but didn't Brandy kill somebody?
Who?
Brandy, the singer, she killed somebody like years ago.
Who did Brandy kill?
Brandy killed somebody years ago. She was like,
Brandy didn't kill nobody. Don't start no fake news on this show, Terrence.
If somebody is watching this show, please.
Brandy did not kill nobody, Terrence.
Somebody comment if I'm correct. Now, she wasn't drinking and driving.
Yes, she did. Who she
killed somebody.
How Brandy killed somebody
and didn't get any and got no jail time?
Okay, I am today years old. I'm not even lying to y'all. I had no idea Brandy killed anybody. Yeah. And how you gonna bring this? Is what I hate when people bring. Well, you know, Brady gets somebody. How does that relevant?
What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this. It is difference between drinking and driving. I understand 100%. So I'm not. It's not the same scenario. But what I'm trying to say is somebody lost their life, and the person who did it needs to be held accountable. And I understand that what's the name was a car accident or etc. But she was negligent in that car accident. And she didn't serve any jail time whatsoever. Brandon. And I'm just saying is that it's fun is people with money always find their way. In other words, I will not be shocked.
Money.
Who?
He got money.
That's what I'm saying. I would not be shocked if he doesn't end up serving any jail time, is what I'm saying.
No.
His career is over.
No.
His career could be over. I'm being honest.
I don't see that.
Or the bare minimum of that jail time. Like when I say the 2 years, the 2 years. That's it.
I can't stand Khalida because she just said something about full moon. I just saw it. I'm sorry. You're just ridiculous. No jail time. Hashtag full moon. That's so stupid to me. But I didn't know. I'm just finding a story just now. I'm
exactly. And career rebounded like it was nothing.
This is in 2007, guys. For anyone that didn't know. In an exclusive conversation with the man driving directly behind Brandy at the time of her fatal crash, TMZ has learned that the singer repeatedly blamed herself at the scene of the accident. She got upset, talking about how it was all her fault. She didn't stop, kept saying how she hit the lady, says the witness. He added, Brandy walked in front of traffic, crossing the lanes of speeding cars. Then she did it again. People were honking at her. What?
Listen,
was Brandy involved? Okay, so I don't know if she hit anybody. It says that she killed somebody, according to TMZ.
She killed that person and was on Broadway 3 years later. So here's my issue about this. I think that at 22 years old, you are not able or capable to make any sound decisions, whether you have no money.
Like I'm talking about us type lives. We don't got bread.
Absolutely.
And at 22 years old, we've made faulty, stupid, silly mistakes. Okay, so
100%.
I want to highlight that because I think a lot of times we not only glamorize these people that are in these spaces in these positions, but at the same time we also say, "Oh, well, you know, he should have known better." Da, 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 da. Like, yeah, hindsight is you know, you kind of have a different perspective on it. Of course, now he feels like he could, but I think and I hate to say it like this because I feel like it's yes, life was lost, but and I don't want to be in any way breezing past that because that's not the case of what I'm trying to say. What I am trying to say though is there have been times where I've been out, I've been drinking, and I have said, "Oh no, I'm good," and I might be probably wasn't good.
100%.
I want to make sure we like all own all of our times that we've ever said I'm good, knowing I'm not good.
Coming back from DC to Baltimore and not good the entire way. Not good the entire way. So 100%.
Yeah. Kalita says you got bodies on your name though. It hits different. I agree, but I'm saying the end result is the same, like it's different, but the initial claim, it was by God's grace alone that I did not plow into somebody on my way home from a drunken experience. I remember being, I don't know if Terrence was there, but I remember being out with my guys. This is years ago, and I was coming back from Virginia Beach. I don't know if he was with me. But I was coming back from Virginia Beach, and I'm talking about inebriated. I mean, I left. I think Virginia Beach. I think it was called Secrets. Is Secrets in Virginia Beach? What's Secrets at? Yeah. Left Secrets at like 2 a.m. Like left there to hop in the car to drive home, and I'm talking about
just
sleepy and drunk.
Secrets is not a strip club. I just want to throw that out there.
Oh yeah, it's not.
It has a strip club name.
Yeah.
To be very clear.
It's not a strip club. Thank you for cleaning it up, Saints. And
gotta be clear.
Yeah, I'm and I wasn't, fully saved back then, but hey, whatever. So I'm at Secrets. I leave there at 2 a.m. I'm drunk and I'm making those bad decisions and silly decisions to hop on the road. Not drunk, but enough. But I thought I was good, at least is what I'm trying to say. And all I'm trying to point out is saying, hey guys, let's not be so quick to be like, let's throw him all the way under the bus. It's easy, it's low-hanging fruit. Because we all know we've, like, to some degree, most of us on here and most of us listening on this podcast have been in a situation where, oh no, I'm good, and you're not really good. Yeah. And you hopped in the car, and everyone knows when you're driving, in most cases, like in those situations, thank you, it's Ocean City. In those situations, you hop in the car and you drive faster when you're drunk. You do. 100%. You drive faster when you're drunk. You're less focused. And you look. I remember, you know how it is. You driving. You got to put all the windows down. You're tired. You got the windows down. The sunroof open. It's also 20 degrees, but you just trying to stay awake and alert. It don't matter. The whole time you like, yo. I'm like you waking yourself up,
screaming like, God, just let me get home.
If I could just make it to the house, if I could just make it.
I promise I'm not gonna do this again.
And that's all I'm trying to highlight is that there have been times where that has occurred, and I just want to at least say that with this guy, it's easy and it's low hanging fruit to hang him out to dry. I think it's a difficult situation for everybody involved. I just do. And I feel horrible for the lady that lost her life, that's just driving her car, minding her business, and somebody's doing 156 miles per hour and slams into her. There's nothing. Think about it. You can't even react, T. You're looking at. You may glance up at your rearview mirror, and then the next thing you know, you're gone.
156 is ridiculously fast. I'm curious about the gun though. What's the purpose?
I saw somebody say, let's not breeze past the gun. So here's the thing that I don't like about any police. They will double down on things. Like I don't know how relevant.
Did he have a permit for it?
I don't know.
That's what I'm trying to say. So my thing is, so when I read that, I really felt like it was a way to like, let's really like get this black guy. Like, he got.
That's how I feel. That's what I feel like was happening, T.
Like the most important thing was that he was drinking, driving to kill somebody. What's the point you got to bring in the gun for?
And that's my point. My point. When George Floyd thing happened, they found ways to he also did this and he also did that. They always try to find an extra thing to kind of put that nail in the coffin of judgment
Yeah.
Before it's even a trial. You understand what I'm saying? So to me, it is a sad scenario, guys. And I think I'm glad you guys.
His life is altered. Regardless.
His life is over,
Completely
man.
altered.
I mean, it's literally over. I mean, think about how quickly his whole life changed. For him and for her. I mean, obviously she lost her life, and I'm not being insensitive to that. And I want to share this because
he's still winning. Because Devin if Devin's still winning, did he get a national championship with Alabama? I feel like he got a national championship with Alabama too. So he's used to like winning.
This is how, look at this, T. This is how fast. This is her moving first. I think she's the first card. No, that's the second card. So look at this again. That's her. That's her at the beginning. You see that? Her. And then I'm sorry, people that listen to the podcast, but this is him. And even if you slow it down, it's still going fast in a slower speed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
he's flying.
He's going for it right there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it was a thing. Now, if it's relevant, hey, I agree with you guys saying add the gun in. Because you're saying if he's out there looking for victims or looking for somebody to take out, and that's a part of why he was going 150 miles per hour, because he did say he has a girl in his car. You know, I could see a scenario where he's like, oh, what happened? And pull up and got a gun. You know, I can see a scenario of that too. But let's make sure that before we even put that out to the open, can we make sure that that's like confirmed of the mindset of the intent? Can we confirm all that before we do that?
We're not gonna do that. It's the media.
Okay. I just thought it'd be nice.
Yeah.
You guys also, this is just actually kind of more or less breaking news. At a Travis Scott Astro World concert, a stampede broke out, leaving 8 people dead and several injured.
Oh, I don't know about this.
I said it literally just happened today. Or I found out today. One patient is 10 years old in critical condition. Concert goers tried to tell the soundman or the cameraman, excuse me, that was at the concert what was going on, and basically they did not listen to the people that got there. I have something for that. I'm trying to find it. But yeah, that's a scenario, bro. Like, what do you
a stampede? What are they running from?
I don't know. But this is of the concert. So they're partying. So they're standing on police cars at this point. And this is the footage of them trying to get to the cameraman to let them know.
Oh, they too turned up.
So the cameraman's not even trying to listen to this person. And it says, our hearts are with the Astroworld Festival family tonight, especially those who we lost and their loved ones. We are focused on supporting local officials, et cetera, et cetera. You guys know how that goes. But basically, yeah, at a Travis Scott concert, that all broke out. And it's kind of crazy because it makes you really think, what would even be the protocol in a situation where it's loud AF and you can't get nobody to the scene and people end up dying at a concert, man.
Listen, I'm not a pessimistic person, but I don't do large crowds for this particular reason. I don't do concerts. I don't do comedy shows. I always thinking that something's going to happen, something's going to pop off, and I can't get to where I go. So I always prefer like smaller venues, in general. So stuff like that, like that's a fear of mine in general. So
you've thought about getting like a stampede?
Well, I just feel like I'm always fear. I don't like large crowds, and so I legitimately hate large crowds. And so in general, even if I'm in large crowds, I'm trying to find my way.
Yeah,
you know, I'm like it's just I don't want to be at this event that long. So even if I go, like even when I was at the Ravens game, like I want to be at the game. I want to come to the game late, and I want to leave a little bit early. Yeah, because I just want to. I don't like it, and so. That's unfortunate that it happened too, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired of all the things happening with people like at unsuspecting areas, like like situations. It's like these are things that could definitely happen. Just hey, we're gonna check out this concert. We're gonna go check it out, whoever it is. And obviously, a Travis Scott concert is different than a John Legend concert, right? So you're not gonna get a stampede in that situation necessarily as you would a Travis Scott concert. So I get that there's a certain amount of all right, something could more so go down in this space than that space. But it just was something I was like,
it's
man,
the age group too, though. It's the age group.
The age group. It is the age group.
Like,
I I remember being at the at Towson. We out at a club. I don't know if you remember like Nuck If You Buck.
Yeah,
Y'all remember Nuck
course.
If You Buck? And it kind of gave that same kind of energy, like, yeah, we about to fight in here, and everybody be about to fight. Everybody in each other's faces about to go in. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
but you look at it now, like you just look stupid. Just look at you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, but we're also like seasoned saints when it comes to
like,
when it comes to the party scene. Yeah,
what you turned for? Like, what are you bucking for?
Knucking If You Buck definitely was nothing. I was like, what were we doing when we were all in each other's faces going like this? And, you know what I mean? Fist to face, like, oh, I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna fight. We would go all back and forth. It was a whole move in that club. I'm not fighting you. I go to college. I go to Towson University. I study music. I'm not gonna fight you. But we were all in there about to fight each other. Like it was the energy for sure. I don't know if you guys have seen, but Kanye West, man, he has been on a rant on Drink Champs.
Fool.
And he calls out Big Sean. This is what he has to say.
Pusha or Big Sean?
Oh, I love this. Let me tell you.
He's saying not quick about this quick time.
Okay. So I already decided that when I die, on my tombstone, it's gonna say, "I deserve to be here because I signed Big Sean."
So I'm not quite sure of your pick.
Yeah, you're not quite sure.
So
Big Sean, he's saying,
Big Sean over Pusha T?
No, I'm saying that the worst thing I've ever done was sign Big Sean.
That's a beautiful thing. Oh, that's a beautiful thing, man.
No,
wait.
The worst.
He just said the worst.
The worst. This is the best. Holy shit! I know.
Nori don't be listening to nothing.
He don't be
like,
listening to nothing.
He like, oh my God, that's a beautiful thing. Oh my God, that is, sir, the worst thing he's ever done is sign Big Sean. So
apparently Big Sean was like, apparently right after the interview, I saw Big Sean like reply.
Yeah.
He was literally like, he dapped me up outside right after the interview.
We were just cool after this. Like
we were just like
literally after this interview, you left the interview, didn't say nothing about all the beef you had with me, and then so apparently along the way, and then I actually kind of watched most of the interview. I'm trying to stomach Kanye. I am. I'm trying to get to a point where I'm like, okay, Kanye, I'm trying. I know you're not, Terrence. I know, and I know most people are over Kanye. I get it, but as far as Big Sean and even John Legend, they had beef. Well, basically, Kanye had beef with Big Sean and John Legend because when he wore the whole MAGA hat, they sold him out, and according to Kanye, they sold him out. Was like, yo, basically he's losing it right now, and John Legend was like same energy. He's losing it. Big Sean, same thing, and they were for the Democrats and all that stuff. As far as Ye's concerned. So with that being said, it was like, yo, why is Ye always doing this? And I be asking myself these questions. I'm like, he just keeps putting himself in these predicaments where he just calls people out and goes hard on everybody. And it's like, I don't know if he just wants to be in the center of attention or what it is.
He also, so the funny thing with that, he also like he's gaining a lot of weight. And like he looks like he's getting like a lot heavier, and that is usually a sign of like
depression or something.
Yeah.
I think naming the album after his mother showed that too.
I think I don't know if it's the Kim thing that's like really starting to like affect him. Or, yeah. I mean, of course, losing mom years ago. I don't know. Me personally, I think it's also affecting his music because that album was trash. Like I think it's affecting.
Oh, you didn't like it?
Absolutely didn't like that trash album. At this point, it's just production and just lyrics, and they don't make any sense. And that's what I don't like. Like it's just right. And Kanye didn't used to be just production and no like. You think about old Kanye, his music was production with music that made sense.
Yeah,
like the lyrics had a point to it. Like this, it had it followed. None of his lines have any cohesive thought to me.
My question is Ye okay? Do you think yes or no? Is he okay?
Ye's not okay.
Yeah. Because if you see the haircut, that's the part I was kind of like, yo, okay, listen, I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm worried about you, brother, and I don't know how to say it. This is not okay for you to keep walking around this earth like this, and nobody seems to care nothing about the fact that you're not okay. And
as a billionaire, too, that's the crazy thing. What do you do when it's a billionaire who has mental health issues? Like,
are you surprised that him and Kim are divorced?
No.
I had money that they weren't going to last longer, like as long as they did. I thought.
Yeah,
I didn't think they were going to do 2 kids in. I didn't think they were going to be 2 kids in.
And
at all.
she moving on already? I thought she was dating. What's her name now?
And here is the other video where that talks about that. Here it is.
Do a diss, like an outright diss song where it's a headshot. He's
talking about Drake actually right here.
Set it up like war. You know what I'm saying?
Calculated and strategy.
Yeah, when people went to go get Hitler, they didn't go straight for Hitler. They set up fake tanks. They set up this and this. So he gonna do stuff like live 5 blocks down the street from you. DM every.
What's that? Crept through the light switch. That is that?
Yeah.
What you talking
He gonna like go and DM every. Drake don't do a diss like out.
So basically, he just says Drake don't do an actual diss. He just basically like attacks by going to DM all your friends, which actually makes sense for Drake.
He's a strategist. He strategizes.
Yeah, he's very strategic in how he does it. But there was another video. I don't know if I have it here, but he talks about how Kim K and him are going through issues because his publicist would kind of insert into their lives, whatever. He said basically F her publicist. Basically, her publicist was always posturing from a weakness or whatever, like in terms of her strategies or whatever, and not really trying to help her career. And it was a lot. I mean, it was a lot of dumping on everybody. I mean, he talked about Jay-Z and the group text that they had and stuff like that. And I just feel like with Kanye altogether, I just wish he would go to therapy and stay there. I just wish he would just not ever leave, because I think he's never going to get over it until he unplugs from this world of fame and fortune. He has to unplug in a real meaningful way, but I think it's just never going to matter.
Yeah, I am a little worried that he will commit suicide one day. Legit, no cap.
No jokes in the corner. Yeah,
no jokes. I am, because I could just see it.
Yeah,
like he's
lost. He's lost. And I guess that's the point of the situation when it comes to mental awareness, like mental health awareness and all that stuff. We gotta be better at identifying those things and not triggering those things and not medicating with alcohol and all that other stuff. Because I felt like even during the interview, he's taking shots and they're kind of making light of everything. Everything's funny. Everything's clearly like he's the GOAT in that room, right, in that space. So everything's like, oh my God, everything he says is gold. He's funny. He's awesome. He's amazing. He's probably always in that space where no one ever says, no, you're not that. You're not this. You're not that. And are we all going to act like Kanye didn't do a gospel album and didn't win best gospel album of the year like a year ago? Like, is he no longer a gospel artist anymore?
But that's my point I was trying to say earlier. When those cameras go off, when those audience stop clapping, and you go home, it's just you.
It's just you.
And I started therapy this week because one thing I realized was just like it's just you. Yeah. And when it's just you and there's nobody else like to hype you up or celebrate you or accolade you, and you're not comfortable with where you are and you are dealing with demons inside your own head, you need an outlet. And the outlet can't be the people who have not bias, but the outlet can't be people who stand to gain something from you. And it needs to be somebody that's impartial. That has nothing that doesn't want anything from you. Yeah. And I think it should be a professional, because it's just like.
So what do you think about that in terms of the therapy? Like what triggered your mindset to go ahead and go and
periods of depression and trying to, like you said, trying to brush past it with nights out and traveling and this and that and spending, and then realize, but once that ends, I'm still here. Like I'm legit still in this space where I'm like, I'm not okay. And so it's just, black men we don't like to talk. Yeah. We don't like to talk.
That's right.
And so it and I've only, this is like just one session, makes sense. But I like the idea that it's just, and I hit up some circles like, yo, I'm not doing so good. Pray for me. And I believe in this spiritual side, but I also believe there's tangible things that God put people on this earth to do. Yeah. And so, you can trust me, but while you're trusting me, hey, I need you to move this way. I need you to to do this. And so it was just, I was just, okay,
that's
well,
good, see.
I'll just do it. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you hit you talked about something that's really prevalent in our community. And I actually am dealing with this same thing within my family, and even in the circles of within my family. I lost my grandmother. Was it July of this year?
Yeah.
And my wife did as well, actually. And so with all that loss and loss in general, it just kind of like everything kind of comes to the top of your, of your heart, and it kind of just shows you everything, right? And even within my family structure, it seems that therapy, like, they're very highly spiritual people. So like that seems to go get ahead of letting someone that's a clinical, like, has a degree in this, like, knows how to treat this. They seem to think that, oh, I got God, that's enough. And I don't know what it is about our culture that makes us feel that way. And I'm the type of person too. Like, I mean, I think you and I've shared this and had this conversation before where I'm like, man, I don't need a therapist. I've said it, felt it, whatever. I'm not sure what I feel about it right now. I haven't really took time to think about it, but I probably should go to therapy. I think everybody should go to therapy.
I have to absolutely 100. And again, I've only had one session, but the one thing I walked away from that session realizing, like, black men don't talk. I talked for an hour straight. Legit.
Did she ask you questions, or you just like literally?
So her methodology was really cool, but she asked questions, and the question led to something else I wanted to get out, something that I wanted to say, and something that I wanted to unpack. And I think one of the things that I'm like, I was just talking about this today, like that came in the end was is that I don't trust people. And so she's like, she wants to unpack that more. We kind of ended there, like, because the not trusting people dealt with my church hurt, dealt with my, like, it dealt with my ability to walk into a new church and feel embraced, and I don't like large crowds, or I'm sometimes I like it's all of that has to deal with the trust of people. And so it's just, but like, and that I said that, like, I like, and it only came from a question, was just like, like, talk about, I mean, her methodology was really dope. I mean, and so that's the only thing I can say. And again, I've only had one session, so I'm not like an expert, but one thing I can say is I just feel like I think it was really healthy. And before I was like, I can't afford to go every week. I'll go like bi-weekly, but I'm like, nah, I want like every week. Like as much as like it makes it, I like it. Like, it's just
What do you think about this in terms of relationally, marriages, what have you? Because I think my thought process is in our marriage or whatever is we should go to therapy, yes, but you should go to therapy and I should go to therapy separately first. Yes. What do you think of that?
I actually think that's great.
Okay,
I think that's because a lot of times because what could happen is that she unpacks stuff that's making her better. You unpack stuff that makes you better. And then you really realize it's not that you all need any issues with your marriage. You all had issues personally within yourself. And then once you start working those or getting better and making those better, then the relationship does get better. Or, and I'm not saying that, like, I'm not saying that like that's the case, because I'm not proposing anybody else. Or it doesn't get better, but you still got an answer.
Yeah.
And people, you can't be afraid of that. Like, a lot of times people don't want to seek therapy because they are afraid of resolving what's going on. And they're afraid of what, if I do resolve this, what does the answer mean? Like, maybe something is wrong with me, and now that I know that, like, okay,
what am I do with that?
What am I going to do with that? And so it's just, I think, like, a lot of times when people don't, it's the same thing. People don't go to the doctors because he's going to find something.
Yeah. And tell me what's actually wrong with me.
What's wrong with me. And it's worse than what I thought it could be. And now, and then people die like that.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
You've known for years, you've had this problem physically.
Yeah.
And you never got it checked out, and you could have been surgery or the right medicine or even just the right, it would have been resolved.
And, I like that point, Terrence, because I think that's huge. And I think family tree wise too, I think about this often because my dad is my dad's a great guy and all that, but he didn't really know his dad that well, right? So like, what things are systemic in our family tree that I am dealing with that maybe my dad didn't deal with, and now I'm having to deal with it or whatever because maybe he didn't know his dad dealt with it or had an issue with it. So like literally, I mean, and I don't believe I'm an alcoholic, but I watch alcohol, right? Like I watch like my consumption of it and how often of it I depend on it, whatever the case may be. Because I think in our family, I do think it's a trigger for us. Like, if something's going wrong in our family, I think that we'll medicate it by alcohol, abuse, and so trying to being careful or knowledgeable of what those things are is important. And I think that therapy does highlight those things along the way, or if it not even highlighted, at least you can like know what things are in a sober mindset to deal with it, which is the work, right?
Absolutely.
Kalita said, Black people carry so much trauma we bring into our relationship, platonic and otherwise. It's super unhealthy and problematic. She says, accountability and responsibility for your behavior is what happens in therapy. It's really hard work, but the outcome is transformative. And I'm
looking forward. I don't know what, like, she asked me what were my goals. I didn't have any goals. And I had I couldn't even answer the question. I don't have any goals.
Yeah.
And then that's my assignment for next week is to figure out what she come up with 3 goals. I don't have any goals other than the fact that I don't like the periods of highs and lows. And I like to question around, okay, well, what happens when you are high? How long are you in those highs? What happens when you are low? How long are you in those lows? Are they spread apart? Are they connected? And so I just like the unpacking of it's making me think, because I don't it's making me think, but whatever it is that we and like she even talked about the drinking thing or etc. Because I'm like I said, I've said this probably before. I've probably been intoxicated 7 times total in my life. But one thing I can say is in the past 3 years, I've drunk more than I've ever drunk in my entire life. Not even with being intoxicated, like just in general. Like I'll come home and make a cocktail.
Yeah.
And I find myself when I am depressed, I do drink more, but not to be intoxicated. And so she was like before I liked what she said just before. I don't want you to be alarmed by that. But what we need to do is we need to monitor that. Because if it is dangerous, how can we plug something in that's a little bit more like conducive? It was just great, but the one thing, I just have no goals. And so like it's just I don't want the highs and lows. She said, well, that's your goal. You need to get out of these periods of highs and lows, and we got to figure out what are your triggers for these highs and lows. And so the thing is, like, that's just challenging because like people can be together, or people can be like, if the trigger, like, what are you going to do if the trigger is your job? Legit, what do you do if the trigger is your career that you've now spent thousands of like dollars, and if the trigger is your career? But if it takes your life, like,
yeah.
So I just I'm curious, like Kalita said, for like the transformation that could happen.
Oh yeah.
Or etc. So
I think I love everything you just said, Terrence. I mean, because I think cracking the case, or having somebody that's a third party that's not in your life to crack the case, it's so good. It's so important. It's so vital to, knowing and uncovering the thing, like whatever that thing is, right? Also, I don't think people be having goals after like 30, 35. Like after they've done whatever they dreamed about since 21 or 25, I don't think people be having goals. And I think a lot of times where my stuff rises, or my issues rise from, is that I have goals, but my goals, in my opinion, sometimes I'm like, man, like I don't have people around me to have goals, or no shade to nobody, but I don't have people around me to have a lot of goals, or if they don't share them with me. And their goals don't make me feel like I gotta up my goals. And so to me, to be honest and transparent, it's like I need new friends, because I need friends that tell me what their goals are. So that makes me have bigger goals. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not no shade to nobody. It's like, but having goals and having somebody else be like, oh, that's my goal and that's my goal. This competition that's healthy kind of comes from that.
Yeah.
And or accountability of whatever the goal is. Like, I literally remember towards that. So I could be like, yo, you told me, like, what happened to that goal? What happened to you saying you was going to do X, Y, or Z? Like, where is that at right now? And I don't have enough people in my life to say that to me, or know that about me, to say, yo, you need to be doing X, Y, and or Z as far as your life is
100%.
concerned. You need that. And I think in these years, these 30 to 40 something years, I believe that's one of the most critical elements of our lifespan and our lifetime during this time, is pinpointing those things and accomplishing those. I think I agree with your therapist, and even from my own life. When we say what the goals are and see those goals accomplished, I wonder how that will set off our mentality or mindset about our own idea of our lives. Because I know for me, I'll be looking at my life like, man, I feel like life is on repeat. And I know you got to feel, I don't even work a full-time job like traditionally. Like, I don't work the full-time job traditionally, but I know you have to feel that, experience that, because when I was working full-time, I felt like my life was Monday, and the next day was Monday, and the next day was Monday, and the next day, like, I was like, man, when will we end this thing, right? Where it's like, it feels like every single day is Monday. you know, and
100%.
0 wins. I mean, 0
100%.
wins. You know what I'm saying? No wins at all. Just like I'm just out here spinning on this wheel, you know. And I think that's what the 30-something, 40-something is about. And let's not act like kids ain't. Man, listen. These kids be stressing you the F out like that. Like I literally had my daughter earlier before this show, and I was like, I walked her into, she was crying because she wanted to go in the bedroom. I took her in the bedroom and she cried because she wanted to go back in the hall. I was like, Trick, which one do you want? Do you want to go out or do you want to come in? Like, which one do you want to do? And she was crying either way. I was like,
because our mind can't grasp like what's going on. It's just like, yo, like what?
What do you want? What do you want? So compile that with I haven't dealt with my own problems. Then I got marital problems. Then I got my kids got problems because they don't even know what they want. I'm trying to give them what they want, and they don't even know what they want. You know, keep adding to the thing. And I got bills, and I can't think down the road, right? I can't think down the road because I got today bills or tomorrow bills. So I can't dream anymore.
No.
So all those things
I can't just quit
into one. I can't just quit.
I cannot just quit
because I got bills. So you feel trapped, right? That it's cripplingly trapped. And I feel like I love that we went there today, and I appreciate your vulnerability because that is the point. Is to be able to say like, yo, this is the issue. This is what we're going through as a community. Let's try to like be more knowledgeable of that for each other so that we can be able to say, yo, T, yo, you off it right now. You know you're supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z. You said you're going to do it by this time. You said by the end of the first quarter of the year, you would have had this by, this is the metric system. And if I can say that to you, you can say it to me, and we can hold each other to that. How much better would this be?
Yeah, man. It's just, and that's like that.
Kalita, I hate you. She's going to say, oh, y'all keep having therapy on the podcast. I hate people like you. But the reality is, this is the conundrum of our age bracket.
Come on, conundrum. Come on.
You know, that's the word of the day today. And I had to find a way to use it. So I found my way, you know.
Come on here. Yes. Yeah. I like to sum it up. I just think if you, like, you don't have to be like crazy to go to see a therapist.
Yes.
Like it's little, if you feel sick, like physically sick, you go see a doctor. If you're struggling with thoughts, if you're struggling with like periods of sadness, if you just issues where you just like I'm not happy and it's a hit thing.
Yeah.
Just most therapists take prescriptions. If you have health insurance, they take health insurance.
Yeah. And
I know the laws as I've researched, laws have been governed are now to treat mental health similar to physical health. And so I'm just saying I would do it. Like,
do you feel like we overcomplicated? Like what was your inhibition? What was your, what was your reluctancy?
So watch this. I would, so in terms of being relentlessly real transparent, I don't think I've ever had a reluctancy towards therapy by itself. I just think that I didn't need it. I think what I did have reluctancy towards, and I probably partially still have, is marriage therapy. Right. And I'm trying to unpack why. But the thing is, I think it kind of stems what you said. I think if the issue is myself and if the issue is my partner, we need to do some personal work first, like personal work. Right. Yeah. And maybe that will make me more comfortable. Yeah. I don't know. But I do think we overcomplicate it. I think it's just, I think religion plays a big factor in that. Like, yeah. I think like, and I'm gonna be very clear. I'm not the best advocate for that because I'm one of the Christians who really believes in the more free will and the more how God has, like, God's not a puppet master, and things happen down here more so because God has allowed us to make it happen. Not that He's single-handedly navigating. I understand the aspect. So I'm not very like you would get, like, sometimes I'm not a prayer warrior, if that makes sense. I'm more so like God has given me power and God has given me authority. Like, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm more action based. I'm an action based Christian. Like, makes sense. If that makes sense. So I would say that sometimes I think we have certain pockets of Christians who just says, "Well, I got God. I don't need." Makes sense. Like, God. Like, there's the old joke. Like I don't know if this is a good way to end it. There's the joke where there was a hurricane, like there was around this like a Hurricane Katrina in this territory, and this lady was trapped on a building, and so a boat came past, like, "Hey, we gotta go. The town's been evacuated," and the lady's like, "No, I'm waiting for God to save me." And then a plane came around, and like, "Listen, we gotta go." She's like, "You go ahead." God's going to save me.
Yeah.
And then a helicopter came, like, whatever it is, God's going to save me. So the lady died.
Yeah.
And so when she got to heaven, and God was like, you're an idiot. I sent you a boat. I sent you a plane.
Yeah.
I sent you a helicopter. How much help do you need?
Yeah.
And so sometimes I think we look for something that's super duper spiritual to become, and God is like, I'm not that deep. I'm not as deep as you think I am.
Yeah.
Like, you are coughing. There's a pandemic.
Right.
Your temperature has spiked. Go get a COVID test.
Right.
Like, makes sense.
Right.
Like, go get help. And so
Yeah.
that's just my mindset.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything you just said. I think it's helpful to really know that. And I think even as far as our marriages or our own relationships, like you just said, like, I think getting that help is helpful on an individual basis is helpful. And I think it kind of leads into the more discussion about the marital things, in my opinion, just like you were stating. We got to, and like Jason just said, stop being stubborn, people. We got to stop being stubborn about it, you know? And I agree. You know, I think the bottom line is when it comes to marital things, especially for me, and I think for our larger community, we got to do the work on ourselves. And I think I've said this statement before, you know, how do you know you're a good wife? How do you know you're a good husband? Who quantifies that, or who says what is good or what's not good? Who says that? Who determines that? And a lot of times we don't undress being a good wife or good husband. We don't know what that really means and how to really break that down. Or like, oh, I'm a good wife because what? What do you do that signifies that you're a great wife? What do you do that signifies you're a good husband? You think you're providing for this person, or talking to this person, or sitting down and spending time? Like, what makes you good? What makes you great? And I think the things that I think will make us great is when we sit and unpack ourselves more and talk about it and deal with ourselves in a more aggressive manner. So I like what you're doing, T. I like the road that you're on, man. I like Khalida just said, we are relentlessly real. We, you know,
trying to be,
Jason,
like, you know.
Jason said, yo, so you're saying this was a real, raw, and relatable conversation? Yes, that's exactly what we're saying, Jason. That's exactly what we do here at the Relentlessly Real podcast. We keep it real, raw, and relatable. But this was a great episode. And listen, guys, as we move forward, I want to say this. We are going to be doing the work more offline too. I kind of talked to this to the guys a little bit as well, where we take one Saturday and just spend it with ourselves, kind of talking about our marriages and our relationships and our friendships and all that. That's how this was birthed, and I don't want us to totally wipe that off the table in order to keep this podcast form going, because we'll have this podcast form going and our whole marriages be going to hell. So like, we want to keep the main thing, and make sure that our spouses are getting what they need from us. And at the same time, we want to keep this platform going. So just know there will be in the future one Saturday where we won't be going live. We'll be in person at a restaurant, unpacking our lives with our friends, you know, in a real manner, so that we can do this thing right and keep these marriages together. Because Lord knows, otherwise we be breaking up all over the place. Okay, so we need to do the work. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening to Relentlessly Real podcast, man. This has been a great episode.
Follow us, share it. Please share it on your pages. Like, you know, post us, retweet, etc.
100%. Do all the things Terrence just said and more, and go to therapy because he's sick of it. He's tired of y'all. All right. So go to therapy and follow us today, right here and right now. Again, thank you for listening to Relentlessly Real podcast. If you guys aren't already doing it, please follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. And if you want to submit a topic, you can always do so at relentlesslyrealpodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's relentlesslyrealpodcast@gmail.com. My name is John.
And I'm trying to figure out why you would not take this lottery ticket, John. Like, if you if he won, like you gotta take it. You gotta take it, man.
My conscience won't let me take. Look, I'm ignoring the plane and the boat that's trying to save me. I'm the one. I say, I don't want it, God. I don't want the wealth.
He's like, I killed him so that you can live a great life.
Thank you guys for listening to the Relentlessly Real podcast. Y'all have a great day. Peace.